A flick. Heads is the call once again from Carl Hooper. And it comes down a tail. So Saurav Ganguly has won the toss. Saurav, what are you going to do?
We're going to bowl.
This is not a surprising decision given the way the results have gone in this series so far, is it?
Yeah, we're going to chase. We've chased well last game. And it's going to be a lot of dew in the night when we bat later. So we're going to have a bowl first.
What about any adjustments to your team?
We've got Murli Karthik in place of JP Yadav. Sanjay Banga's in this side. So these are the two changes.
Good luck today to you, sir.
Thanks, Vish.
Carl, tough luck on the toss. How does this affect your plans?
Well, hopefully we can do the same thing as in the last game, put up a good score and bowl a bit better. No complaints about batting first. Wicket looks good. Not a beautiful one-day Indian wicket.
And your fitness, your knee was giving you a little bit of a problem early on. Is that solved now?
Well, not solved, but I'll hang in. We've only got another 4 one-day games. Hopefully I can make it towards the end. I think it's very important that we try and win this one-day series. And as a result, I want to play.
Any changes to your team for today?
Well, I'm back for Powell, Ricardo, and we've got Pedro Collins in from... Pedro Collins is in.
Finally got it out there in the end. No special plans for the bowling. It hasn't been that good.
No, it hasn't. We just need to be a little bit more consistent. I think that's it. Regardless of who we play in the park, very important to be a bit more consistent, especially in the bowling department.
Well, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
There's no Yadav. Yes, I think, well, Agarkar has been replaced over there by Sanjay Yadav. Yes, I think, well, Agarkar has been replaced over there by Sanjay Bangar, Hardu Powell or Cameron Cuffey, but it's a fairly well-balanced side, and their top order has been...
It's gone for the pull, and the first boundary comes up for West Indies with a good, authentic pull shot. Chris Gayle off the mark as well.
Well, take a look at this. He goes and fetches this from outside off stump and just fair cracks this through the onside. That is beautiful.
The second boundary for Chris Gayle.
Very tasty stuff, this. Now, you see, he didn't even move out of the box. Pretty much stood where he was and delivered. Rock back and just smoked this through point. This is beautiful.
Again, it's third man that he goes after. Srinath this time cannot get there. So boundary to West Indies, another one to Chris Gayle.
The old adage, you're going to flash, flash hard. Absolutely thrashed at this Chris Gayle. No chance for Srinath. So big ground, but still look at it. He gave it the kitchen sink, gave it his all.
A few more runs for Chris Gayle. Good timing on that occasion. He might look for 3. So first touch of the ball for Murli Karthik. And again, it's the pull shot, which brings up another boundary. Wavell Hines this time. So problems for India. 25 for no wicket. .25 on the board of the 5 overs that have been bowled by the Indians. And that one is pitched right up and hammered straight down the pitch. That was asking for trouble.
Gone on about the lengths, the right lines and the right lengths for Srinath and Mehra to get. And that isn't one of them, I'm afraid.
And another ball has flown on the offside for another boundary for West Indies.
Well, the crowd's suddenly a little bit quiet. They can't believe it. But this is another screamer right out of the screws. Now short and wide. And another day it might have gone to the man at backward point. But he's just smashing it, using the pace of the bowler and giving it the full treatment. That's pretty to watch.
Lashish Nehra just trying to bowl the right line, sacrificing pace and swing for it. But even a good line is not helping him too much. He's really climbed into Ashish Nehra. There goes another one. Even quicker this time. 0.02 seconds to read the advertising hoarding, that one.
Well, I tell you what, this is great stuff. This is what one-day cricket's all about. Pressure on the opening new ball bowler, and it is all go here in Ahmedabad. Look at that, lean back, the old Calypso Kings are back in town. That is beautiful. Yeah, the feet don't quite go, they don't have to, because it's such a good surface, and he's got the width from nearer. Boom, right over cover point.
Certainly low in confidence at the moment. Few senior men just talking to Ashish Nehra. 3 boundaries on the trot for him, so 12 runs already. The first 3 balls, no major changes in the field after that large boundary. It's gone over the top, and it's gone all the way. That's quite an incredible hit by Chris Gayle. So after 3 boundaries, we have a 6.
Well, I tell you what, he didn't quite get hold of this either. He's got a thickish inside edge. Watch the head go back a bit. And I tell you something, that has gone a long way. What I think is a bit of a mishit. And it's still gone all the way for half a dozen.
Wavell Hines putting some meat behind that shot. There's a huge gap on the onside. That's a real sprint. He's run close to about 75 yards to get there. Murali Karthik is the fielder. 3 runs to Wavell Hines. That will bring up a single and bring up the 50 for West Indies. 7 overs gone, 50 for no wicket.
Tremendous shot once again from Chris Gayle. He's a man in a hurry. It's been a hectic start here by the West Indies. Flurry of boundaries. The fielders have been scurrying for cover. Again, powerfully struck off the back foot. And this man hits the ball, it stays hit. He's one of the hardest hitters of the cricket ball when in full flow. 54 for no loss, and Ashish Nehra has taken some serious tap. Can he bounce back? That is huge. That's a monstrous hit. That should be a dozen. That's 6 more added to the score.
There's no doubt this man hits the ball very, very hard. We were talking about timing and the power a couple of games ago. Well, they are both combined to hit that ball that far. I had dinner with the West Indies manager a couple nights ago, and he was trying to compare Chris Gayle to batsmen he had seen previously for the West Indies, and mentioned one Clive Lloyd. Well, he hits it just as powerfully, if not more powerful than Clive Lloyd, and especially at this age bracket, he's still a very young man. But the West Indies 61 in the 8th over.
Wavell Hines clears it off. The crowd is quiet, but this is terrific entertainment. Already 7 boundaries by Gayle, 2 by Hines, and 2 sixes as well by Chris Gayle. Inside edge, goes past Dravid and into the boundary. So 50 for Chris Gayle, and it's come in very quick time. 52 of just 30 balls.
This is Chris Gayle's 14th half century in this form of the game. A bit fortunate that last boundary, but he has played some wonderful shots. 2 sixes. Easily have gone back onto that off stump, but they say fortune favors the brave.
Hines getting into the act, but what a hit that is. That is a long boundary. Just for a moment I thought Murali Karthik might get underneath it, but that ball has disappeared. into the crowd, over deep mid-wicket.
Well, I was thinking initially the same thing, Robbie. But the angle at which we are at, it seemed as if it was going a bit square, but it went well in front of square. And it went a very long way. We were talking about the size of this ground earlier on, and there will be a lot of threes. Well, that's 2 threes.
This is another boundary. Again, heaved over the onside. 1 ball to go, already 15 runs of this over again.
The bowlers haven't enjoyed this one-day series so far. I think after this game, a few of them might think, well, why am I playing this? This is all about batting.
That's taken. It's done the trick. Change of angle. Has got the outside edge. West Indies lose their first wicket. But 80 runs already on the board.
Just threw it a bit wider there, Javagal Srinath. And of course, the mood that the batsmen are in, he went chasing. It was a bit wide. Just took the outside edge. Very thin edge going through to wicket-keeper. And a wicket goes down for the West Indies. A few boos around again. Well, seems as if that's going to be the mood of the day. It's 80 for 1.
Marlon Samuels comes out to the middle. West Indies have just lost a wicket, that of Wavell Hines. Samuels wants the single, he'll get it. 83 for 1.
Mohammad Kaif, there could be run out here. Run out by yards. Chris Gayle had no interest in that single. Marlon Samuels was convinced there was an easy single to be run. He virtually ran the full length of the pitch, and in the end it's him to run out.
Big mix-up, but it's that man again, Mohammad Kaif. Good throw because he was moving in the opposite direction. His momentum was taking him away from the stumps. He's a superb fielder, one of the very best. And Samuels is in trouble, but he's gone for 5, 90 for 2. Average of 206, and that's because he's only been out once. Over the top. Good use of the feet from Ramnaresh Sawan. He sensed the pressure was building, and he's relieved himself through the aerial route.
Young Murali Karthik shouldn't mind this too much because it's a good delivery. There is flight in it. There is the inclination to spin the ball. But it's also a bold shot by Sarwan. Brings up the 100 for West Indies.
And that will push Srinath, who's not the quickest. And his football is not the best. Now that is not going to impress the captain.
Well, he was sprinting to his left, and once he knew that he was within reach of the ball, to catch it absolutely safely, he had to bend down and get his left arm going, but that was a bit of an ask.
That's in the air. Srinath getting underneath it. And he's tipped it over the bar. So that will be a 6. It'll be interesting to see whether he got his hands to it before he crossed the line. Well, that should be a 6.
Yeah, pretty sure it's gone all the way for the maximum. Got right underneath of it, Sawan. And Javagal, he's been using the boot a few overs ago. This time, gets a little bit of a hand on it. And I think possibly he tipped it over, or was it just inside? Just inside. So just the boundary.
Yes, that's one bounce over the rope. That's a fine shot. That's a great hit for 6. That's gone flat. It's gone all the way. What a tremendous strike that is. He didn't step out, just one stride forward and hit through the line.
Well, again, he's just launched into it. Terrific stroke.
Well, that's gone away fine. We'll have to wait for the umpire signal. Just a little bat on that. So the 150 comes up for the West Indies. And a neat deflection. That's well played.
And there's 100. Well, quite a few, not quite a few, a lot of people in the stand standing up and applauding, recognizing this very good knock by Chris Gayle. It's 176 for 2. That's 4.
There's the 100-run partnership between Chris Gayle and Sarwan as well. That's a poor delivery from Yuvraj Singh. That was a birthday gift. Though it's not Sarwan's birthday today. Yuvraj got it all wrong. That was shot, room outside the off stump.
Sarwan on 49. Sarwan on 50.
What a series he's having. That's played in there and gone a long way. Chris Gayle realizing that after this over only 15 will be left and the West Indians need a score of more than 300. So he brings up the 200 with a 6, realizing that they need to get to a score of around 325, 330 to be safer on this track.
Well, that got through. Thought it would have been stopped at one point. It's gone all the way.
That's a slower delivery from Sanjay Bangar. Didn't really middle it too well. And Virendra Sehwag was on a bit of hold there.
He's gone in the air and wide of Srinath for another boundary. Just for a moment we thought he'd gone into a slumber, Chris Gayle. And now he's very much alive and kicking.
Oh, you better believe it. This is right out of the top drawer.
Bowling.
Over gone, 223 for 2. Disappeared. Has it gone all the way or just bounced inside? Ashoka De Silva just trying to suggest to Hariharan may have bounced on the rope, but both men on their walkie-talkies.
It's been a busy game for the umps in terms of consulting upstairs. Not a good start with this over, I'm afraid, Javagal. It looks like it has cleared the rope. And I think they'll be wanting to have another little peek at this. They're saying we'll have another butchers at that. Well, hard to tell from that too. Just hit the rope, hit it on it. So there you go. Get the arms up. And thank you, Harry. Well done, son.
Hariharan there, signalling the 6th, the 5th for Chris Gayle. And another one has that gone on the top. Chris Gayle with his amazing power continues to fascinate me.
Fascinate indeed. It's a simple, beautiful pickup of the blade. And he doesn't even bother to run because he knows the timing again is there. Now, try to change your pace there. Just pulled a bit of the pace off that delivery, Javagal Srinath. Just a little bit. But now, 136 not out, and that strike rate, wow, still climbing.
There we go again, but this time Harbhajan Singh will cut it off. Gayle comes back on strike. So the pressure stays on Srinath. And it might just go to hand here. It does. So Chris Gayle has been dismissed by a full toss from Virendra Sehwag. Murli Karthik has taken a catch, but he has also done some terrible damage to his hand, right hand.
I was just going to say, this is a simple catch. It's a full toss from Virendra Sehwag. You see the outside of the blade from Chris Gale. Murray Cattle comes in, but has closed his fingers a little bit fractionally early. Gale has to go, though, for 140, and the West Indies 238 for 3.
You can see there no relief for the Indian bowlers. Chris Gale gone, another informed batsman takes his place, Shivnarayan Chanderpaul. Best of 74 in this series, an average of 68, and a good strike rate. He's gone on the leg side, and he may have picked up the gap. So another boundary for Sarwan. Just a bit too many full tosses at the moment from Virendra Sehwag. At the moment, he's complaining to Mohammad Kaif for coming in too much. He thought he should have been on the edge of the circle. Over the top goes Sarwan, and maybe straight to Sanjay Bangar, who drops that one. The spare thought for the fielder is looking into the sun. We mentioned that at that position, you're directly staring at the sun. Just wonder whether that was the reason.
Well, I'm not going to spare a thought for Sanjay Bangar. You've got a cap on, son, and wear the sunglasses. You've got to wear sunglasses. This day and age, you've got those there as an apparatus to wear. And I'm sorry, if you're going to be on the fence over there, that's what you've got to do, Sanjay Manjrekar, surely.
Point taken, Danny. And I think he saw it early, got into a fairly good position to catch that one. Then maybe at the last minute, just ended up too much on the right, the ball did. There you can see. And he likes to play the sweep shot, but it still doesn't clear the field. And now Harbhajan Singh is pleased with a hint of anger behind that particular dismissal, but India's got another wicket, an important one of Shivnarayan Chanderpaul.
Crucial wicket this, because he's such a good player at the death, and particularly in this series, Shivnarayan Chanderpaul. And he's gone early, though, just the 3, 258 for 4.
Carl Hooper, who didn't play the last match with sore knees, is back in action. 29 50s, 700s in his one-day international career. Good strike rate.
That's a fine shot. Inside out. He's found the gap. Good footwork on that occasion by Sarwan.
Yeah, well, I think once Sarwan is there, and he's going to play shots like these because he's well set, hitting the ball into the gaps. Hooper doesn't need to do too much. All Hooper needs to do is get the single. Sarwan will keep the pressure off of him.
That's slapped away on the offside. He's found the gap and found the boundary as well. That's what West Indies need. They need to find the boundaries in these final overs. Ramnaresh Sarwan has moved on into the 90s. He's still to get an international 100. He's been around for some time. His highest score in test matches is 91. This is the first time he's got into the 90s in one-day internationals. There's that smash back and hit extremely hard. So another boundary here for the West Indies. Just one ball, remember, has been bowled in this over, and 8 runs have been conceded. 4 wides, and now this boundary. He's got hold of that. And he's found the onside boundary. Now that's a very poor effort in the deep. Sanjay Bangar will not be happy with that effort. Neither will be the bowler or the captain. That's sloppy cricket. And the crowd will let him know. That's a good cut shot again. That is extremely well played. This is a great over for the West Indies. 4 balls bowled, 17 runs scored. And Hooper playing his part as West Indies go past 300. And again, that's delicate. That's a classy shot. The boundaries continue to flow. As many as 4 in this over, including the 4 wides, then it makes it 5. 21 has come off this over, 1 ball remaining.
We spoke about that lack of experience. What he should be doing is getting the ball right up there into the block hole of the batsman. Hooper wants to give himself room every time, and Yuvraj Singh just doesn't have the control at this stage to do that. A very good over for the West Indies. Good batting from the West Indies captain.
That's what he can do, is vary his pace. Now that Hooper is not coming down the track, he can afford to bowl a little slower. This time he finds mid-off, but a great over that for the West Indies. 22 coming off it. 305 for 4. It's gone away, square of the wicket. Hooper will come back for 2. Well, he's been in the firing line, Sanjay Bangar, but good effort on that occasion. Another couple. Oh, that's excellent work. Good improvisation. This is experience coming into play. Just walking across the stumps, using the pace. Another boundary to end the over. 316 for 4, the West Indies. He's got that fine. There is deep backward square leg. Sarwan will come back for the second. So the opportunity is still there. He's on 97. He needs a boundary. 3 runs of this last ball.
And it'll be a replay of the first game of this series, Ravi. This time the boundary was needed to win the game for the West Indies. Now it's a different situation, just as tense. The crowd are in high anticipation. I appreciate this cricket.
Well, he won't get it this time. There's every chance. If there's an overthrow, that's his best opportunity. But he ends up 99 not out. So he gets closer. But it's been a very fine innings. He'll be thoroughly pleased with that effort, even though he's missed out on 100. It's a tremendous innings for his team. And after 50 overs, the West Indies 324 for 4.
Well, that is a mightily imposing scorecard for Sourav Ganguly to ponder. 324 for 4, just 15 overs. Javagal Srinath going at 8 and over, 9 overs, 1 for 71. Ashish Nehra, 5 overs.
So Dillon on his way. That's an area he likes. It was almost a one-handed push, but he starts off with a boundary.
First ball was where the West Indies had been planning to bowl to Sehwag all the time, and then the next delivery outside off stump. That's what I was talking about with his inconsistency in line and length, Mervyn Dillon.
That's a lovely delivery. Bang on target. Sehwag has no answer. And India have lost their first wicket. That is a cracking ball from Dillon. Jumped from a length and surprised the little man.
Good bouncer. That's the direction in which you want the ball going. Certainly don't want anything outside the off stump. Well directed bouncer. Just about shoulder height. The first wicket for the West Indies. It's 5 for 1.
PVS Lakshman comes out to the middle. India had lost a wicket in the first over. Virendra Sehwag dismissed. Lakshman, who played well in Nagpur, getting 99. That's well played. First boundary for the Indian captain.
You can see how fast his outfield is. Just turning it off the hips there, Saurav Ganguly. Very big field of this, but it got there very quickly.
That's edged. There's no third slip. Third man can't cut it off.
Mervyn Dillon certainly bowling with great pace here. Looks to be a thick outside edge. I don't think it was a totally uncontrolled shot that by VVS Latchman.
Well, Ganguly looking to improvise and gets it away. Just pulled back inside. Chandrapal. Ganguly will get 3. In fact, it was Ramnaresh Sarwan who pulled it back. That's edged and put down. Straight to second slip. Chris Gayle has put it down. And Lakshman gets a reprieve.
Well, India will be looking for some breaks, and this is the first one. Straight in and straight out. That got there very quickly. I think the slips certainly can afford to stay a bit deeper than they have been staying, because the ball is getting at a good height.
That's in the air. There is third man. And I just get the feeling he might have touched the rope. The catch has been taken. We'll have to take another look. The fielder in the deep is celebrating, but has the foot touched the line? That's the question to be asked. Baspert Drakes is confident, but the third umpire has been called for.
Well, he seems quite convinced that he didn't touch the rope, but he seemed to look back quite quickly. This is interesting. He has touched it.
That's the correct decision. 6 signal. Yeah, giving himself room, and he's found the gap. And just pull back inside the boundary. The ball just slowing up in the outfield. That's gone away fine and into the boundary. The line wasn't good there from Collins, and it's a neat deflection by Saurav Ganguly.
Don't quite understand this field. You're saying that the line is going to be mid-stump, leg stump, and yet there is no fine leg.
That's a lovely shot. It's all timing and class. Consecutive boundaries here for Ganguly, and a good start to the over.
I think Pedro Collins is confused. I'm not too sure why the field was changed in the first place, but Saurav Ganguly is certainly taking advantage of anything that's loose.
The finger goes up. That is a good catch by Ridley Jacobs. A good decision by umpire Hariharan. He was off in a flash there, lifting the finger. The crowd stunned into silence. And Ganguly knows he's got an edge here.
Not the best of deliveries, but it has done the trick. Very good catch by Ridley Jacobs, having to move down that leg side. And Ganguly knew it. Was very disappointed immediately. It's 45 for 2.
Rahul Dravid has come out to the middle. India have just lost their second wicket. He's had a good series so far. Strike rate over 100.
It's gone for the pull. It's gone over the wicketkeeper's head for a boundary for Rahul Dravid.
Yeah, pretty lucky there, Rahul Dravid. He wasn't in control of this. It was a bit high with the pace at which the West Indians are bowling tonight. It could have gone anywhere, and it did.
Played it nicely on the leg side. But Ricardo Powell is a real sprinter. Couple of runs. Nicely played on the offside this time by VVS Lakshman. Third man. I think I can spot a fielder there in the deep. There is a fielder. 7 overs gone. 55 for 2. Now he's played that superbly on the leg side. One bounce into the mid-wicket boundary. Right in the slot on that occasion.
Well, he knew it was coming because it's been the pattern of the West Indian bowling tonight. He tried it the ball before, and this time he obliges a lot better. Good contact. Very well played from VVS Lakshman.
And again the full shot, this time finer. 2 boundaries in the over for VVS Lakshman.
Well, as we said earlier, the West Indians are not going to pitch too many balls up.
Driven to mid-off. And we have a simple run out here. Or maybe not. Dravid wants the run in the end. But we've seen some high-quality cricket until now.
That certainly was not quality cricket from Basbert Drakes. This is as simple a run-out as you can ever hope to effect. Look at Dravid. He's trapped. And Drakes, well, it looks like a three-pointer. Very far off target. All he had to do was lob it to Jacobs, and he did not get the distance right.
But Dravid responds with a spanking boundary on the offside. Brings the crowd alive yet again. 12 overs gone. 73 for 2.
That's excellent timing. That's when Lakshman is at his best, hitting on the up and making it look easy.
Didn't he just? Look at that, that's effortless. And he just timed the so-and-so's off it. Beautiful. Just so easy.
And sweetly timed. The ball racing away to the boundary. That's a trademark Lakshman shot. It wasn't all that bad a delivery. But he's got the placement dead right.
Got a wonderful habit of being able to pierce the gap on the offside. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Just open the blade, open the face, and placed it right where he wanted to.
That's put away in style. Short, and it gets the treatment. Lakshman onto it in a flash.
Typical, isn't it? You just pump up a bowler, and he goes and drags one down. And a poor delivery from Drakes. He knows it, and he's now in consultation with his skipper. So it's just too short. It's just help yourself bowling, especially at Drakes' pace. He's been hovering around 128, 130 Ks, and on this particular pitch here in Ahmedabad, it just comes onto the blade very, very nicely.
That's an easy single, and that's a half century for VVS Lakshman. And straight back down the ground, and that's 4.
Making room for himself. He's wanting that room outside the off stump. That's where he is best. This time he withdrew outside the leg stump and played it right over Basbert Drakes' head. It's a perfect shot. It's the safest position on the ground.
That's a big blow. How far has it got? Just falling short of Ryan Hines. He gets 4 for it.
So Lakshman has taken it upon himself to bring that boundary every over. A very brave attempt by Ryan Hines there. But eventually not reaching it, neither was he able to prevent the boundary.
It's gone a long way behind square. He won't make it. It's 4 more.
That's the boundary of Carl Hooper that was much required from the Indian standpoint.
Ricardo Powell did good work and he's gone. Very good work that by Ricardo Powell again. They should have known that's not the man to be running singles to.
This is pretty inexplicable. You just never saw either of the batsmen actually commit himself to the run, and yet they were just ambling past each other, not calling, not saying no. Just take a look. At no stage did either of them want to really run. Powell had the ball, just gave it to Hooper, and nobody's in the frame, not for quite a while, and yet they're ambling. So that is a very, very fine breakthrough. Now, this was bound to happen. There were a number of occasions when there were these hesitancies. 66 to Lakshman, 148 now for 3 India.
Yuvraj Singh coming in at number 5 for India. Hasn't done a great deal in this series so far, but hasn't been coming to the crease with many overs left either. Has 24 overs and 5 deliveries to go in this inning, so a lot of time to get some runs.
He's hit it over the mid-wicket fielder and placed to perfection. Welcome boundary for Dravid. And brings up Rahul Dravid's 50. Well played Dravid yet again in this series. He's just sort of eased that ball onto the leg side. Not a good delivery, but a good shot.
Yes, the run rate required now is below 7 and over. And if he's got the slip in place, he just needs to be more consistent towards the offside. You're right, not a very good delivery. Meat and drink for Yuvraj Singh.
That's a big hit. This is where he's dangerous. That is a massive blow into the crowd.
He did that quite easily, Yuvraj Singh. It was wide of off stump and he just dragged it from outside off stump onto the onside. That perhaps went about 12 to 15 rows back. Effortless.
A shift in the air and taken. That is a lucky break for the West Indies. Yuvraj looking to chip it over Hooper. Hooper was on the edge of the circle. He made no mistake. And what a wicket and at what a time for the West Indies. India lose their 4th.
That's why Mervyn Dillon was brought back into the attack. The West Indies need to take wickets. Been a bit expensive, but the wicket is important. It's 209 for 4.
Mohammad Khaif comes out to the middle. Now that's a very good shot. Inside out, over extra cover. Dravid finds the boundary.
That's the 4 ball. You can always depend on that 4 ball coming along at some point.
Just a little bit of width offward, and that was enough for Dravid to free his arms and go over the top. Till then, Nagamutu was hitting, bowling middle and off. That's pulled away. Another couple added to the score. So Kev's decided he's going to open up a bit. That's a simple catch. The bouncer has done the trick. Again going for the big one over mid-on and only top edging it. So West Indies pick up another wicket. India 5 down.
That one got a bit big on him, Mohamed Kaif. That's why he was unable to control that pull shot. Well, Ricardo Powell has been fielding so well, I don't think anyone expected him to drop that. It's 231 for 5.
Sanjay Bangar, early days in his one-day career.
And that is well played, just using the pace. Deft touch shown by Sanjay Bangar.
This is what a lot of West Indian batsmen did when they were batting, using the pace of the ball and playing it towards third man, placing it very fine. Not seen many Indians do that. That was very intelligently played by Bangar. And as Ian Bishop was saying that Sanjay Bangar will have to bang a few to score the runs quickly, he taps one to the third man.
Well, he hasn't hit that in the area that he aspired to, but he's got enough bat onto it. It's gone away for 4. He was aiming straight down the ground, thick outside half of the bat, and still had enough on it.
That was a dodge for the West Indian fielders, aiming straight, the ball going towards point. It doesn't matter what and how the runs come at this stage for India. They need to score runs quickly. And that's the second boundary of the over.
Well, the bowler is celebrating, the keeper is celebrating, and all the umpire says is please get on with the game. Well, that was interesting.
He's done a good job, I feel, Bish, Hariharan. Well, it did get the nick. It was a very faint one. This time Hariharan not hearing it.
Well, it's more than a faint one, Manny. It's a huge edge. I didn't think he had to hear anything. He should have seen it. Well, oh, Harry, he's got one wrong.
That's one problem the umpires face when they're looking at the no ball and then they have to look at what's happening in front.
He squirted that away very well. He does favour the offside very much. Sanjay Bangar made room for himself and found the gap well. Been a good over for India. End of the over, 255 for 5. That's in the air. Someone's getting under it, and he doesn't get there. Looks like Corey Collymore, one of the substitute fieldsmen, on for Ryan Hines, who was also a substitute fieldsman. Just wasn't quick enough.
Didn't really time it too well, Sanjay Bangar. That was a very good effort, but still somewhere in his strides I felt that he wasn't too sure whether he's going to reach it or not, whether he's going to try and stop the boundary or go for the catch.
No doubt about that. Placed very, very well by Dravid. What an innings he is playing for his team. They're celebrating in the aisles.
This is what the Indians need. One boundary and over. Now there was a lot of room there for Rahul Dravid.
That is a big hit. And that's gone all the way. Magnificent from Sanjay Bangar. Well, it doesn't matter what he did in the test matches. He's seen a different side of him tonight. And the crowd, they're absolutely delighted.
They ought to be. India move closer now. 53 runs required of 51 balls. A flighted delivery. Very well timed by Sanjay Bangar.
And he's
He's gone over the top and it's flown well clear of the sweeper cover. Sanjay Banga has become a banger.
He certainly has, Sanjay Mandraker. This is outstanding. He's just leant back on this. He's come back over the wicket, Pedro Collins, and just opened up the offside for the right-hander. And Wavell Hines, well, all he can do is just wave this over the rope. That is just brilliant.
And more to come. That's gone very quickly to third man. And the 300 comes up for India. 5 overs to go, 302 for 5. That's his 50, Sanjay Banga. The crowd is delirious. And Sanjay Banga is a low-profile cricketer, not very expressive, but I'm sure he is equally happy. And his first 50 in one-day cricket. Well, he's going to get his 100 here. Comfortable too. And that's 100 for Rahul Dravid. One of the more important one-day 100s. And he knows it. Job not yet done. Look at the Indian players. They realize the value of the innings. His 8th one-day 100. And look at the score now. And again, he's gone straight down the ground and the ball has skidded off the turf for another boundary to Sanjay Banga.
The crowd chanting, "You little beauty." Sanjay Banga, the sheet anchor role in the Test series as an opening batsman. Well, he's come in here as number 7 and simply smoked it to all parts.
It just seems like Kalupa has given up. That last delivery was just bowled casually by Kalupa for Dravid to pick up another boundary. And the writing is now on the wall.
Very much so, Sanjay. A foregone conclusion, really. Just the 5 now off 19. And India, well, they've come back into it.
There we have a couple of more runs. And Rahul Dravid making sure that Sanjay Banga doesn't take it too easy. He got the younger partner to get to the other end to complete the formality of 2 runs and register the score 325 for 5 in the scorebook, which means that this is the 3rd best run chase ever in one-day cricket.
The crowd are out of their seats, and so are we, Sanj. We're standing up here, absolutely fired up. We've seen an incredible chase. We went on about the match at Lord's, and that was under natural light. That was in the daytime. This here is a heck of an achievement when you think the conditions that suited the West Indies pacemen. It bounced, it went through early on with the new ball, and 325 for 5 in 47.4 overs. It seems like they coasted it. It was struggling there for a little bit mid-time. At 148 for 3, you thought the West Indies had a little bit more control of this game, but really, Rahul Dravid and Sanjay Banga turned it round, and they are the big heroes here tonight.
Well, we just mentioned the 3rd best run chase ever, and it was done with 16 balls to spare, with 5 wickets in hand. So again, batting totally dominating the bowling here in this series yet again. We nearly had a team batting first and winning. It wasn't to be. And the hero of the day, Rahul Dravid, unbeaten, 109 of 124 balls, just the 8 boundaries. But he worked hard, rotated the strike, built up a good partnership to start with VVS Lakshman. Then he lost Yuvraj Singh and Mohammad Kaif, the 2 young guns at important stages. But he just carried on. And then he found Sanjay Banga, who surprised everybody with his performance today.
Well, astonishing scenes in Ahmedabad as India came through 325 for 5, reaching their target with 2.2 overs to go. That is the one stage when India were 5 down, that it was their match. They tried to the very end. Merv Dillon 2 for 65 in 10. By Sourav Ganguly, 324 for 4. Chris Gale, his 2nd century of the series. Ramnaresh Sarwan.
Outstanding innings. You obviously would be disappointed you finished on the losing side, but what did you have for lunch? Because you came out all guns blazing.
Yeah, as I say, we're very disappointed in losing the game. I thought we batted well in the first 15. Self and Waver lines put on a good partnership. Unfortunately, Samuels get out, but I thought Sarwan bat well as well, you know. But these things do happen in one-day cricket. You never know what could happen.
You came out with a definite game plan because you really got stuck into the bowlers, both yourself and Wavell Hines. You had a definite target after 15 overs, didn't you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the wicket was good to bat on, as I could see. I thought to assess it well, and I think once we capitalize on the loose balls, things go further from there.
325, you must have thought that's a winning score.
Yeah, definitely. But as I say, these things do happen. They have done it before. I thought to bowl bad in patches, but we have to come back again. We have a lot of games to play.
Well done, Chris. Fantastic performance and a second one-day 100.